So if you're watching this video, you're most likely wanting to counter the new Bastion, or maybe you just want to watch my video and just hear my voice, which I appreciate you guys for. I love you guys. But in this video, I did want to make a list of just obvious picks and some secondary counter picks that you can deal with this new Bastion, because I don't want to say Bastion is taking over Overwatch, is taking over the meta, but people are making team compositions and just making teams that just work around this Bastion, just make him the most awesome, viable DPS hero of all time. But there are going to be ways to work around it, no matter what kind of team composition is happening on the enemy's side, even though it is going to be very, very difficult, especially if they have a Ryan and a Mercy helping out with Bastion. There are going to be some ways to deal with him. Now, I do want to specify that this video is coming out before Orisa is even alive in Overwatch. She is on the PTR, so you can use her there and try to counter Bastion, but I feel like people are still trying to just figure her out as a hero. But even though she is a brand new hero, I feel like she is a great counter to Bastion, but I will talk about her later on in the video, probably at the end. I do want to just talk about the heroes that are already in the game, because most people are familiar with them already. And like I said before, there are going to be some obvious picks, so don't think I'm just going to be like, you just got to use Genji. That's all you got to use Genji. It just, obviously, there's going to be some picks like that, but I will talk about the secondary picks. So let's just get in the obvious picks and then move on from the secondary picks. So since day one, everybody knew what Bastion's #1 counter was, and that was Genji. Obviously, with his deflectability, he can just easily take out Bastion, but more than likely, more Bastions are getting smarter. They're growing brains, and they realize, oh my god, Genji is deflecting. I really shouldn't shoot him. But he still is a good counter because he's able to just get in the back, just harass the backlines. But the thing is, not everybody's good with Genji. Myself, you want to see how good I am with Genji? Here's a clip. Yeah, that's how good I am with Genji. So people can just easily pick Genji, counter Bastion, and carry on through the game. There are some people that are really, really good with Genji, but that's probably the people that you're going to want to pick Genji. Nobody can just, no run-of-the-mill Overwatch player can just easily pick Genji and take out the Bastion. That's why I want to make a full list of people and heroes that you can use to try to take out that Bastion, even if you're not that great with them. But Genji obviously is a great hero and probably your #1 pick that you do want to use when there is a Bastion. Now, there is a whole list of heroes that you probably can use as a main counter for Bastion, but the reason why Bastion I feel like does so good, obviously there are other aspects of him that are great, but his Ironclad ability, his passive, is just what makes him so tanky. So what's a way that you can get him out of sentry mode? Well, just use Sombra. Sombra can easily just go invisible, get in the back lines, and just hack Bastion, and boom, he's out of sentry mode. That's what you're trying to get out of this, is trying to get him out of sentry mode, because if he's out of his sentry mode, he doesn't have his passive, he doesn't have his ability, and he's a little bit less tankier. Sure, he can heal himself and just go back into sentry mode, but if Sombra is just able to hack him out of there, then your team is just able to focus him right then and there, take him out, and boom, you took out the Bastion. Now it's just a 5v6 after that, and Sombra, especially with her new buff, she can just hack a lot more things, especially even maybe the Rhine shield. Just hack the Rhine shield, then hack the Bastion. Sure, it's good Sombra is needed. You just have to be smart with this. Be smart with your hacking and just be a little bit more sneaky. Be a sneaky Sombra. Another pick, same idea with Sombra, is Roadhog. If Roadhog is able just to hook the Bastion, which it's pretty hard at this point, especially if they do have a Rhine that is protecting the Bastion, since a lot of people are using the President method. But if Roadhog is able just to hook the Bastion, boom, he's out of sentry mode right there, and he's even bringing it to your team. At that point, you just got to focus that Bastion. But again, it's really, really hard if the Reinhardt is protecting the Bastion. But if Roadhog can just get at the side, say at like, I don't know, King's Row, get on top of the hotel and just hook the Bastion, he's out of sentry mode, and guys can probably focus the Bastion at that point. But like I said, it is going to be pretty hard with that Rhine shield, but maybe if you have a Sombra and a Roadhog, Sombra can just hack the Rhine shield, and then Roadhog can just hook the Bastion, and boom, there you go. You're probably going to be able to take out 2 enemies right there. No reason why you shouldn't be able to. Now, those are obvious hard counters to the Bastion that are really there just to focus the Bastion. These secondary counters are here like, yeah, if the Bastion is there, then they're going to focus them, but they can also deal with the Rhine, the Ana, the Mercy, whoever is on the enemy team, they can just help deal with that. The first secondary counter is Tracer. Tracer is just one of those heroes that they don't dish out a lot of damage, but a good Tracer really can, but they're there just to poke at them, just to poke at the enemy team and just kind of distract them. And the way that I think Tracer can just secondary counter Bastion is just to distract him. She's not really going to kill him per se, especially if they have a Mercy, but if they do have the Mercy, then the Tracer can just deal with the Mercy and then deal with the Bastion. Again, she's mainly there just to distract them. If they're distracting, if the Bastion is focusing this Tracer, then they're not shooting at you. They're not focusing your guys' Ryan. They're not focusing your guys' Roadhog, because this Bastion is focusing on the Tracer now. So the Tracer, it's not per se a kill counter, but more just a distraction counter. But that's just what Tracer is. It's just a backline distraction just to steal your focus away from the main fight, which is just the Ryan versus Ryan or whoever is going against each other. Then there's a hero like Junkrat that, yeah, he's not the greatest hero of all time, but say like again on King's Row, if Junkrat could just spam grenades towards the Bastion is going to be moving because he doesn't want to get hit by those grenades. And at that point, he doesn't have his passive ability and he's not that tanky. But again, he's not really gonna, he can try to kill the Bastion, but again, he's just there just to spam grenades, just to split up the whole enemy team because they don't know where a protective spot is because grenades are literally just everywhere. So that's just a hero again that isn't really gonna kill Bastion right away, but is more like a distraction. It's more like a dispute the whole enemy team just to disperse them. That's what I meant to say, away from just the small little area. Now this might be a stretch of a counter, but I will explain why this is a pretty decent counter. But someone like Widowmaker is going to be set up more in the back. So even though Bastion did get a lot of buffs, he did get one nerf, which is when he is in sentry mode, he can't just mow down people that are like 100 meters away, but Widowmaker can, since she does have that single shot ability. So Widowmaker is set up in the back and just kind of can focus the Bastion. They're not going to kill the Bastion right away, but the thing is, the Bastion is going to move from side to side from different places and won't be set up in turret form. And that's what you're mainly just trying to do, is trying to get Bastion out of turret form and make sure that he doesn't have his passive ability. If the Bastion knows like, oh my god, Widowmaker's right there, I can't really take her out because she's so far away. Obviously Widowmaker does have to get support from like an Ana or a Mercy, but if Widowmaker can just cause mayhem against the Bastion, just cause him to move, then that'll just leave Bastion like, oh my god, I don't even know who to focus. Do I focus the Widowmaker? Do I focus the Ryan? But again, Bastion can just shoot the Widowmaker if he is in recon mode. So that's just why it is a bit of a stretch of a counter, but still a counter nonetheless. Also, I forgot to mention, you can use this in a Discord orb, or even use an honest sleep dart. You can literally use anybody as a counter. It's just how you use them correctly. But I could have made a whole list of how you can counter Bastion. I just want to make a short little list. Okay, let's continue with the video and hear my voice. So at the beginning of the video, I did mention how I would talk about Orisa and how she kind of can counter Bastion. And it's kind of funny. You think a boy robot and a girl robot, they would just ship together and just fall in love, but no, it's like a love-hate relationship, more hate. But today we're focusing on the hate relationship and how Orisa can counter Bastion. But I am still trying to learn how Orisa does work as just a hero. I feel like a lot of people are, but it's kind of obvious that she is a hard counter to Bastion, especially with her right click, which is her halt ability. So what her halt does, it pretty much just sends a little ball. It's like the speed of Symmetra's ball, and what it does, once you detonate that ball near heroes, it brings them towards that ball. It's kind of like how Zarya's ultimate works. It just drags them together and slows them down for a bit. But the reason why this works so well with Bastion is that if you do it near a Bastion, it brings him out of sentry mode. And like I said, throughout the whole entire video, I just kept repeating this and repeating this. What you're trying to do is get Bastion out of sentry mode. You're trying to get rid of his ability, get rid of his Ironclad ability. And once you do that, especially if he's slowed down, you have a small little window there for like a Roadhog to hook him, or maybe just to focus him, whatever it could be. That is the most important part, and I feel like that's the biggest reason why Orisa is such a huge counter towards Bastion. Orisa isn't gonna kill Bastion. She's not. She's a tank. She's gonna protect the team, but since that ability is there, since her halt ability is so prevalent, and I think it's like, what, like an 8-second, 9-second cooldown, all you need to do is just work together as a team just to focus that Bastion, and Orisa can just use her ability, and boom, you don't even have to waste the Zarya ult, because Orisa just has that, and she has a pretty fast cooldown nonetheless. So it's just trying to get Bastion out of sentry mode. I'm gonna say it one last time. That's the biggest way that you can defeat this Bastion, but there are gonna be some team compositions that literally just protect Bastion. No matter what, you're gonna protect the Bastion. Screw 76, screw Ana, screw the Reinhardts. What we gotta do is protect this Bastion, and that is what we're gonna do to try to get the win. Because yeah, there is gonna be a Mercy. Yeah, there is gonna be a Ryan protecting. So sometimes what you gotta do, you gotta take out their support. A chair is not that useful if it doesn't have legs, and pretty much Bastion is a chair and Mercy and Reinhardt are the legs. If you take out those two heroes, boom, the chair is dead. It really doesn't have any way to protect itself. Now if it's a good Bastion, it will find a way. It will be able to use his recon mode just to take out the 76, take out the Rhine, but that's all you gotta do, is just work together as a team, especially with this brand new hero that's just a combination of Mercy, Reinhardt, and Zarya. I think it's gonna work out pretty well. Blizzard knew what they were doing when they added this buff to Bastion, because they knew this new hero was coming out. Now it's gonna be the perfect perfect counter to Bastion? Is it going to totally just break up this transformer meta? I don't know, but there are going to be ways to take out this Bastion. It's only been a couple of days, but even though this new hero is on its way, Blizzard knows that we really don't like this new Bastion. We really don't like how he's just able just to mow down every single hero that is in its path. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions to this counter list and just to Bastion just in general. I feel like something is going to happen, especially with this new hero coming out. I feel like there is going to be a lot of hot patches and hot fix towards Bastion. So love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.